everybody, and today we are going to do some 3D toolpaths in Fusion 360 of this little Delrin bushing. I don't know, I just kind of made this up so that we'd have something to do some cool paths with. Just before we begin, so this is Delrin. If you need to, or you haven't changed it on your actual part yet, you go up into the actual name of the part, right click on it, go physical material, and then from there you can pick the acetyl resin, either white or black, and that's Delrin is in acetyl resin or an acetyl plastic. You can hit close on that. Also, if you want to double check the properties in here, it'll tell you that it should have around 2.549 ounces for the mass of this object, just so that you know you modeled it correctly, and that so that your toolpath should work out just like mine. Here it is. I'll just quick run through of the timeline of how it basically worked out. Right, so we have the sketch. Basically, extruded that piece up. I'll revolve that feature right there. It's just a quarter of like a little sphere. Added a fillet to it. Then the hole up on top, which then I patterned around. Added the one hole on the bottom, and then a chamfer. So relatively easy to model, but because of like all the slopes and the rounded features, we get to do some cool 3D paths with it. And that's where I'm going to go from here. So we go back up into our manufacture tab, and these are all the different, this is the initial stock setup. I'll go through all that in a moment. First thing I'm going to do is add a couple new tools to the library. So you should have all the existing tools there that we had, but we're going to add some ball end mills that we did not use last time. All right, so I'm just going to quickly run through what we have. So we're going to do a facing operation up on top, which will then be done by the 3D adaptive clearing that we see there. From that, we're going to do a scallop, which will kind of give us that bold feature right in there. Notice it steps a little bit down and over to give us a little bit of a fillet. Drill some holes through. A 2D contour to just clean up that top face. From there, an adaptive clearing to clear away all of that stock. And then just a 2D contour to clean up and give it a nice finish all the way around. Now for the second setup, here, we still have some additional stock that's going to be left when we flip this over up on here. So that will all get machined away. So we'll do another facing operation there, followed by an adaptive, a 3D adaptive clearing there that rough out most of the material. Then I'm going to show you a spiral. And then from the spiral, just a nice little pocket on the bottom to get it nice and flat. And that is pretty much all of the different processes that we're going to be using. There's more, and but these will kind of get us through into the next project as far as what we need. The tools that we need to add in. So when you hit the little drop down in the browsers, right? So we have our face mill, we're good there. Here we have a 3/8 ball end mill that we're going to need to add, and I believe we're going to have an 1/8 inch ball end mill as well to add. So to get those, we can go into our tool library and hit library right here. The easiest way to do this is basically take either your 1/8 inch end mill, right click on it, duplicate that tool, so you have it right there, and then you can go, once it's duplicated, you can right click on it, edit tool, change it to 1/8 inch ball mill, ball end mill. Do that. There we go. Cutter, right? You're going to come in here, shift. So now we need to create a, so change it up to type, ball end mill, like that. And most of these things should be good to go. From there, 2 inch overall, length below shoulder. This all should be fine. And then we wouldn't have to change anything else. You hit accept. There you have it, right there. And then you're going to do the same thing for the 3/8. So you can go up to your 3/8 end mill, right click, duplicate tool, come over to here. So that's duplicated. Edit tool. All right, same thing, description. 3/8 ball end mill. Cutter, change that to the ball end mill, just like that. Continue through, make sure everything's good. And we are pretty good to go. Hit accept on that. And there you have it. So then you have your ball end mills and that you're going to need for these operations. Everything should be good. If we have any discrepancies later, I don't think there will be. If you all could hit close on that. So now we've added the 2 new tools to our library from which we are going to start. So the first setup, right click here, it's going to take a look. We're going to edit it in. Now, when you go to do this, we're going to pick a stock box point down on the bottom here. It technically, as long as your X, Y, and Z is like this, it doesn't matter because it's perfectly cylindrical and symmetrical around all the way. It doesn't really make much of a difference. Operation is milling. Okay, and we're going to go with fixed box size. Here, 2.5 by 2.5 by 2.5. Perfectly, it's cubic. We are going to offset from the bottom 0.5 inches. Okay, that's where it is. There's the dimensions are there again. So fixed size box. All right, hit OK, and that is your setup. Our first operation we're going to do is we're going to face off the material up to basically the tangent line or the top of that. So if we take a look, there it is. Multiple step downs. So let's take a look. At this portion right here. All right, so I'm going to click on mine, right click, let's go edit. And I am going to select my 3/4 inch facing mill that we've used before. Keep all that stuff the way it is. For here, I don't select anything, nothing. It's nice. All right, so it basically will then use the whole area. For the height, right, we are going to look at top height, stock top. So that's going to go right to here. All right, no offset or anything like that. We probably could add a little offset, but that's fine. In over here, multiple depths we check off. And we're going to do a finishing step. Feed rate's going to stay the same here. Finishing step down 0.12. We're going to use even step downs. So here, so you get basically what's going to happen. You're going to get nice even step downs until the final last one, which will be slightly different for our finishing pass. And you can see here when we look at it directly on the side, nice even, then a finishing one there. Okay, all of this remains the same or checked off this way. Hit OK. And there's our first operation. And when we go to simulate this, since it's the first one, there we have it. Let's hit play. Right, so it's going to go make a few passes and then drop down by our even step down. Doing both climb and conventional cutting. So it's cutting in both directions as the tool rotates or spins in a clockwise direction. And there we have it. All right, so that's our first step. Hit close on that. Make sure you save it. So we click adaptive clearing up on top. That'll bring you to this. Let's take a look at mine. Edit it through. 3/8 ball end mill. We do not need to select any geometry. What we need to check is stock contours so that it goes to the whole bounding box that we have there, that whole yellow line where our stock is, rest machining, and we're going to change that to previous operations. So the rest machining says, hey, look what happened before. Let's make sure we don't go over the same tool paths again and work from there. We change the bottom height to be here. So clearance, retract, and top height all stay the same, but our bottom height, we're going to go to selection and then select this edge right here. So that'll be the farthest that's just going to drop down. We stock to leave is checked, 0.02, 2/100ths of an inch. Right there, left behind, so we can come back with a finishing pass. All of this, I believe, is all left the same. Take a quick look, and we're good to go. We simulate this. Hit play. All right, we'll skip past our facing, and then you see how this operation comes in and basically mills out all of this material left behind. Speed that up a little bit. There you have it. Notice the green still left because that is our 0.02 of material, 2/100ths of the material left behind. we'll stop it there. Okay. Now we're going to do a scallop. So the scallop, if we just simulate that, let's turn off the stock. Notice how it comes all the way around following that. Just kind of cleaning this up a little bit. We could actually clean it up more by changing our step over and step down at the same time. But let's not worry about that here. I'll show you where that can be done. So we hit the drop down, scallop right here. It's also one of these up on top. So we go to scallop, right click, edit. The tool you're going to select is your 1/8 inch ball end mill. So 1/8 inch, let's go to library, sorry. Ball end mill right there. The geometry, machining boundary selection, right? We're going to say right here. So we want it to come down the side and do the fillet. We don't need it to go all the way to the side there. Tool will be tool outside of boundary. So that'll allow the tool to come just past. Because it's a ball end mill, it's just going to hit that line. So we'll be good to go. Rest machining from previous steps. We want to machine the cusps. Okay, right here, same thing, bottom. Make sure we select that edge. Everything else is the same. Stock to leaf, 0.004. Let's actually uncheck that. I don't want anything left. Okay, and this is all good. And what we get, did not like that. Generate, sorry. And there we have it right there. Now notice, I changed this so it affects this adaptive clearing later. I can actually right click and generate that and it should be fine. Okay, so that takes us into that scallop right there. So let's go back to simulation. Oh, it's still doing this adaptive clearing right here. I think we're good to go. Let's go simulate. Cancel. Show that stock. Let's get through the facing, the adaptive clearing. We'll start it here. There we have it. Okay. The next operation is we are going to do a 2D contour of this surface, clean it up where the ball end mill left material behind. Oh, sorry, we got the drilling operation next, which I completely forgot about. So here, 2D, you are going to go to, oh, sorry, into right over here, drilling, click that. Onto there. We're going to do a flat 1/8 inch end mill. We could put an actual drill bit in. I just didn't make one, which is fine. Geometry, we are going to do selected holes. So you'll select these hole faces. Height, hole bottom. We are going to do is a breakthrough. So it's going to come slightly past to make sure that it's nice and clean. If we don't, sometimes it'll leave like the little radius of the drill or whatever it might be as some material. So we want to come all the way through. We're going to go an 1/8 inch. Rapid drilling out. Relatively easy operation. And I'll just simulate this the way it is. No stock. All right, so it's going to come on in. Now, we could have collisions here. We would have to set or change our 1/8 inch mill to not have these. I'm not worried about it at the moment. Just showing you how to do the actual tool paths. So close. Now we are going to do a 2D contour to clean up this. So we're going to do a normal 2D path, nice and easy. So we come up to the top, 2D contour. Come in with our 3/8 flat end mill. Geometry. We are going to do it right here. We don't want it to come anywhere near that fillet. The stock contours, leave that, right, like check like that. Okay, leave these the same because our selected contour is the bottom. All of this unchecked. And we should be good to go. Just like that. Hit OK. And that comes in. and just cleans up that whole face right there. Now what we are going to do is a 2D adaptive to clear away all this material that's left around the sides here. We want to get this cylinder shape. So the adaptive clearing right here. Check that. Brings us to this menu. We're going to do our 3/8 flat end mill. Nothing is selected. We are going to do stock contours, and we are going to do the rest machine, leaving some material behind. We'll ignore any cusps. Come in, bottom. Right, is the model bottom. We want to come all the way down. Remember, this is held in a vise where there's going to be material left down here, so we're not too worried. Stock to leave, 0.02. We want to have some material left just to kind of clean up, to do finishing passes later on. And all of this stays the same. Hit OK. And that operation is our clearing. So let's take a look at this from this viewpoint. All right, so we've just gone through our scallop, drilling, the adaptive we just did, and now we'll do a contour. Oh, sorry, let's play it from here. There we go. So now that is doing the actual cylinder shape. This could most of this could probably be done on a CNC lathe and then brought over to another piece of equipment, another mill, to do all the drilling as well, probably. But we're doing it this way. Okay, we'll speed it up a little bit more. And it's going to make its way all the way around, leaving that material at the bottom, like I was talking about, where it's going to get held in the vise. Look. Okay, so now we have a final contour finishing pass right here. Nice easy 2D contour. Click the 2D contour up on top. Brings us to this. We're using that 3/8 end mill again. Contour selections. Just select that nice bottom edge. Stock contours. Check that. These all stay the same. Make sure that stock leave is unchecked. All this is pretty good. You don't have to worry about much of any of this. Hit OK. And that is our final contour right there. That will come in and clean up our little bushing here, Delrin bushing. So that's all with setup 2 right there. Okay, let's hit close. Okay, so now we are going to work on setup number 2, or in my case 4, because I must have clicked it a few times. This part, remember, we machined away all the material here. So this box is going to be slightly different than our initial one. Okay, so setup, click it up on top, brings us to this. We need to get it into this orientation, X, Y, Z, with the part towards, in that open portions of the X and Y. To change the direction of these arrows, you can click them like so. Also, stock box point, click that. And click here, and then we can select it so it's like that. Remember, it's symmetrical, so as long as you get it in some orientation that's like this, you are good to go. 2.5 by 2.5 for the X and Y. Our offset is 0 with a Z height of 2 inches. Remember, we machined away or faced off a bunch of material in the initial operation of the first setup. Once you're good, hit OK. First thing we're going to do here is, like we do a lot, we're going to face off a lot of this material, bring it down so that we have less to do later on. We have that nice big end face mill, 3/4 inch face mill. That's going to take away a lot of this material. So we are going to click on face. It'll bring us to this. Right click. Let me bring up this. Right. Pick our 3/4 inch face end mill. Don't have to select anything. All of this is pretty good. The model top now becomes that. Multiple depths. Finishing step down we have over here of 0.04 inches. Use even step downs just like we did the last time. Keep all this checked the way it is, and there you have it. So now here, we didn't do as big. Last time we did a bigger step down here, we just kind of left it. And so now it's doing these smaller ones. We could actually change the step down if we really wanted to go a little bit faster. If you want to, right click. Let's go edit. Come over here to passes. Maximum step down. We're doing a 3/4 inch. Say we go up to like 0.1, right? Just a little bit more. And finishing step down. Let's see, maybe we'll do 0.05. Let's see what happens. There we go. Just like that. All right, so now it's a little bit quicker right here. Okay, I'm just gonna fix that, let that generate while we work on to the next one. All right, so if I simulate this, start there. Right, and that's where we're at. Let's hit play. Let's take a look at that. Speed it up. All right, so we're going to do a few passes, and eventually we will be down doing our finishing step down to give us a nice clean surface. I believe it might be the next one after this. There you go. That's it. Right there, and we can see it. Dunzo. All right, so that is our facing. Now, we are going to come in with an adaptive. This, same thing, is going to spiral down into it, clean out a bunch of material, and we will be good to go. Oh, there it is right there. All right, so it's going to give us that little chamfered edge right there, pocket down on the bottom, leaving some material behind. So the adaptive clear, and click that, which will bring us to this menu right here. We're going to pick our 3/8 flat end mill, geometry, machine boundary, and make sure it's on silhouette. We want to go inside the box, stock contours, rest machining. This is important because we remember we got rid of all that material that was on top of it. Ignore the cusps. I wanted to select the bottom inside here. So I go selection and click that edge. That is our new bottom for this operation. Move on through, make sure this is all the same. All right, we're going to do some climb cutting on this one. Okay, all good. Stock to leave, our 0.02 gives us a little bit to finish up with. And believe this is all the same. Hit OK. We could probably change our helix so that can be a little more aggressive into this, but we're all right. Let's just take a quick look at this in the world of the simulation. Okay, so let's skip, play. So that's like I said, you can see our helix angle, we probably could have increased a little bit more. There you have it. Moving away, clearing away. Oh, going too far ahead into the next one. All right, let's hit close. So that is our adaptive clearing. Next up is the spiral. Let's check this one out. Pretty cool. You can see how it spirals down into the path. Here, it's a pretty neat strategy. We could change, same with that we did earlier. Like with the scallop, you could change your step over and step down for this as well. Okay, so up on top, spiral right here. So click it, open mine up. 1/8 inch ball end mill. We are going to select our center points. Now for this, so it's basically center points is where it's spiraling around. I select this, here, and there. Machine boundaries selection. Okay, check, check. Rest machining from previous steps. So we avoid having to do double movements with the machine. Selection is the bottom down there. Okay. For here, all stays the same. Make sure this is unchecked. And you're good to go pretty much at this point. That creates your spiral. Now if we come in and we edit, let's go to our passes. We could change our step over the amount we move. Let's go down 0.0575 and hit OK. Give it a second to generate. Okay. It changes our pattern a little bit. We can actually go even more drastic so you can see it. Let's Let's go like a 0.025 and hit OK. There you go. So see now how it, because the step over is very little, it moves over a little bit and down each time, you can get a finer finish. We'll leave it like that. I like it. And now the next and the last one is a 2D pocket down on the bottom, which probably is okay, but remember we left a 0.02 or 200ths of an inch material down on the bottom. 2D pocket, click right up on, click 2D pocket right here, brings us to this, edit. Here, relatively straightforward with 3/8 flat end mill. We come in, pocket selection, hit the bottom. We change a couple of parameters here. Top is right here. Feed height, right? So the top height is the face right here. Select the contours, bottom, come in, right? Stock leaves checked off. Step over, step down, all is pretty standard. We come here and we change the helix angle to be about 8 degrees, gives it a little bit higher of a ramp. Hit OK, and there you have it. Comes down and does a finishing pass on the center. And at this point, if we look at everything on just this side, our part is done for the most part. Let's simulate it from here. All right, and I'll speed it up. So our facing operation is then going to move into our 2D adaptive clearing. Doing the grunt of the work there, brunt of the work. Moving through into our spiral. Remember, we changed that nice step over. Be real small, give us a nice clean edge. Holes are already drilled, so we don't need to worry about them. There's that spiral. Through. And then that 2D contour on the bottom. And there we have it. The spiral seemed like there was a lot going on. But that is the whole thing. And then you can basically simulate everything right from the beginning. And this, or show all of our tool paths. Remember, this is our browser over here that allows us to see everything. And this is a completely for the most part, manufactured part right here. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that introduction to 3D toolpaths using Fusion 360. If you have any questions, email me at any time. Have a great day. Bye.